Now, we could regulate that monopoly and cause them to, and force them to produce at any one of, well,
Like
two most likely places. This, okay, that'd be our socially optimal, well, no, that's our socially optimal price, okay?
And P equals MC.
That's not right, that's not socially optimal. That's fair return.
Yeah, I think socially optimal is
Here. Yeah. And there's fair return, here's socially optimal. And then this is productive efficiency, but government's not going to force them to produce there. That's just, I'm just identifying productive efficiency so you know where it is.
Oh, but that doesn't exist for pure monopoly.
It doesn't exist for any, it exists, just that nobody produces at the productively efficient point except perfect competition. Right, okay. So if we regulate the monopoly, they'd produce more at a lower price, either at fair return or socially optimal. Okay. If we allow them fair return, then we don't have to subsidize. If we don't allow them fair return, in this case, we're going to have to subsidize this firm. But my average total cost curve could just as easily go through there, and it wouldn't require a subsidy.
And this is relatively inelastic.
Well, yes, it's relatively inelastic as compared to a monopolistic competition,
Which is relatively elastic.
which is relatively elastic compared to a monopoly.
Now, when you're saying, when you have a perfect competition, would you say that's almost perfectly elastic?
Say again?
For a perfect competition, would you say that's almost perfectly
A
elastic?
perfectly competitive firm's demand curve is perfectly elastic.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I think it's probably wise to go ahead and put a
Didn't know.
monopolistic competition next to this, because that way we can draw the distinctions. So, I've got a feeling I'm going to run out of room. That's all right. I'll save the easy one for last and put it down here at the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to run out of room. That's all right.
Now, is monopolistic competition perfect competition in the long run?
Nope.
No.
No. How are they similar?
There's a lot of firms.
Okay, so small number of firms for monopolistic competition.
Nope. Lots of firms.
Well, I mean, it's stuff.
Lots of firms.
Lots of
in
firms
one.
for which one? Both?
No, lots of firms in monopolistic competition, hence the competition.
Alex, think clearly.
I'm
Monopoly.
trying to-
Lots of firms?
Right.
No, one. Think for a minute. Just think.
Well, I know that about the monopoly. The competition part is, you know,
Both monopoly.
what's considered a lot and what's considered not.
Ah, see, I'm not answering that question. I'll say this. Oligopoly sort of happens to be, and I think I saw it defined once. I don't know that I even necessarily like that definition, but I think I saw oligopoly defined once as 14 or 11 firms or some crazy number that like they pulled out of nowhere. So oligopoly is some few firms.
I'm thinking that they're small firms or smaller firms.
Well, for a monopolistic competition, the firms tend to be smaller because there are so many of them.
Right. And they're making
Their size is a function of their number.
And for the monopoly, they're individuals and they're making one specific product.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now, and this is monopolistic competition. All right. So you can see the difference. I made the difference like obvious, like and not obnoxious. The difference in those demand curves. Okay, that one's got a slope to it. This one's getting on toward horizontal.
Yeah.
I probably could have made that even more flat. And truth be told, this flat curve is going to help me when I draw my average total cost curve. So let's see if I do like that.
What is that point?
This is gonna be average total
Okay.
cost at its minimum. I'm just kind of like identifying a spot
Gotcha.
below that price level. Okay. So I'm just gonna like kind of make that up. And of course, I need to make this one up. Okay, that's nicely done. That's the best one I've done in a long time. All right, there we go. All right, so there we go. So obviously this is a long run situation for this firm because they're making zero economic profit, right? Okay. Now, again, how efficient is this firm? Not. Okay. They're efficient as a firm, but they're not allocatively efficient.
Or productively.
So it's right here.
Allocative is where.
Price equals marginal cost. All right? And they're not productively efficient. Where we're at minimum ATC. Okay, so they're not terribly efficient, honestly. Now, their price is close to the efficient price, but their output is below the efficient output. Because they're unique. They've got their own unique situation. So what?
8,500.
8,500, 8,500.
That's the scholarship money?
Yeah, so it's got to be like a motivational speaker for school.
He's not much motivational. He's more of a.
I need to get a job as a motivational speaker.
Well, you need to go through cocaine, heroin,
No, I'm not doing
meth,
that.
and
No, that's not cool.
Oxycontin addictions.
Yeah, I'm not
Be a
good
pro
with that.
basketball player.
I'm not good with that.
But you should watch the video and realize.
I do need to watch 30 for 30. I need to see that. I'd like to see that.
Unguarded, that's what it's called.
I know you said I got it. It's in there.
$7,500 though. Do you think I
You
could
said
ever-
8,500 when you walked in.
Well, it's $7,500 plus expenses, so 8,500. Do you think I could ever pay for that or raise that kind of money?
For what?
I just, this guy's, I wish everybody would have watched this video last night, but he does guest speaking. That's what he does now. And I don't know, I just wanted him to come to our school. And,
Fernandez is like evangelical about it now all of a sudden. He's like all jacked about it.
yeah. And
What would be the 10 limit to raise the money?
Huh?
We could do some sort of fundraising.
8,500.
Well, we could do a bunch of different things.
Rather have like Josh Hamilton or something. I wonder how much he would be.
Is there more?
Probably a little bit more. So what are we doing here? Well, what do you think we're doing? What? Now what are we doing? What am I doing with this one?
Perfect competition.
Yeah.
Right?
Is there a short one?
Well, yeah.
Yeah?
Teachers, if you have not turned in your testing materials from benchmark today, please bring them to room 233 immediately. Teachers, if you have not turned in
Did
your
you
testing
do
materials,
benchmark testing
please
today?
bring them to room 233 to Mr. Heron. Thank you.
Well, when she said that about benchmark testing material, you keep running out of here. I thought maybe you had benchmark materials you had to turn in.
No.
All right.
Jody Marshall, dial 160113. Jody Marshall, 160113.
Long run would be a loss or a profit. I mean, long run would be a loss or a profit, right?
Yeah.
Which means
Well,
either
the
my
short
average total cost lies below this profit or above it loss.
Okay.
Cool?
You just say long run, is that?
Short run.
Short run, got it.
This is long run. Long run means, how about this? Normal
Normal profit.
profit only. Okay?
Okay.
Normal profit only. So then here, same thing. Normal profit only. Okay? So then,
Do we need to know short run? For that?
yeah.
And then all your profit is eliminated when firms enter in a monopolistic competition.
Yes, yes. If you happen to have a profit, when firms enter, that drives your demand curve to the left. And so
Gotcha.
if your ATC was below this, you were earning a profit. The firms would enter, okay, and the demand curve would shift to the left and push that demand curve down to where
Okay.
ATC is.
And then
say, I'm growing graph weary on these.
So will we be required to draw all these for the test?
Yeah.
Except oligopoly.
How about this? You'll be required. If you can't draw all these, you're going to miss points in the AP exam.
Okay.
We don't have to
So you ain't
draw.
going to be able to draw them for mine.
We don't have to draw oligopoly, do we?
No.
Okay.
You're not going to have to draw all goblins.
All right.
But here we go. So there we go. Long run for the perfectly competitive firm. All right. And here's the magical point. That's why this is the Mona Lisa of microeconomics. Right? We got allocative efficiency. We got productive efficiency. And we've got fair return.
What is fair return?
Price equals margin. Price equals average total cost. And we've got
But what is
socially optimal.
I don't think we need. Well, maybe.
Fair return means that my costs and my revenue are the same. I'm getting the normal profit I desire as an entrepreneur. Okay. That's why it's a fair return. Okay. If we don't pay the entrepreneur, then he's not going to do it.
Do you
Right.
have to shade fair return on the map at all, or is it just a point?
It's really a point. I mean, no. I mean, there's nothing really to show. We don't really need this. Identify that one. That stuff right there is profit. Yeah.
So really, the perfect competition is probably the simplest graph that you could possibly have.
Yeah. I mean, it's simple in that it's in the long run it's just 3 lines, you know. But monopolistic competition is toughest to draw in the long run. But of course, they all have those, multiple variables of, long run, zero economic profit, long run, zero economic profit. Now here, long run is, profit. So that's pretty simple for that, for the monopoly. There's no other situation. It's either long run profit or long run normal profit, or they close. Okay. But here we'd have short run losses, short run profits over here, short run losses. We have a shutdown position over here. We have a shutdown position over here. Theoretically, we could have a loss for the monopoly, but they wouldn't be producing then. They wouldn't have gone into it. They were going to lose money.
On the study guide under monopolistic competition,
Yeah.
non-price competition, what is that?
Okay. Let me because that plays right into the oligopoly test. Let me draw the oligopoly graph, and then we'll get back to that. Who didn't get this yet?
My mother printed one out for me. Oh yeah, I always do.
What's this?
Recording, as usual.
Oh, okay.
But thank you anyway.
I watched some of
Thank you.
the last one. Did you? Yeah. I watched some of the last video. You want it?
No, I already have it.
Okay. You got one today. Oh, you don't need it. Okay. All right. I watched some of the last video last night, and I noticed that I hate myself on camera a little bit, even though I'm a massive egomaniac. All right.
It'll be a decent review for the midterm.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, and here's where the fun starts.
Which one's this? Oh, no.
It's got to be oligopoly, because look at that thing.
Yeah, I realized when you said that.
Well, also the other three over there.
Okay. Are we going to know this one for the test?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah, not really.
That's a draw it, just know what it is.
Yeah, you need to know what it is, but you're not necessarily going to have to draw it.
I'm fine with knowing what it is.
Yeah, I haven't had you guys draw it yet. So if I haven't had you draw it yet, then there's a pretty good chance you're not going to draw on the test. All right. This used to be a big deal. The College Board used to love this. They used to throw this bad boy on 3 or 4 questions in the multiple choice section, and then on one of the free response. But
There's no difference between allocative efficiency and socially optimal.
Yes, there is. Oh, no, that's the same thing. You're right. Social optimal allocated efficiency is the same thing.
Oh, that's when it drops off.
Graph is weird, man.
There we go. Look at that. That's crazy. And then here's our profit per unit. What's up, Kevin? So there we go. Cool. There you go. Awesomeness.
It's very useful.
Sweet. Now, let's complicate it. Where's my markers?
Right here.
What'd I do that for?
I
Oh,
don't know.
so profits, losses, and then, I don't know, shutdown. We won't have to deal with profits for the oligopoly and the monopoly. That's their situation. They always have that situation. This is kind of tough, though. I hate to do this. They're such beautiful graphs. I'm going to like screw them up. Here we go.
Should I take a picture of them now?
No, that's not necessary. Oh, did you want to?
Yes.